Hi guys, good morning. This morning for breakfast I had whole egg and egg whites and the fruit salad, and then I had some chocolate shreddies on the side. Becky is coming over today, and I don't think I introduced her in a video before, but basically I hired her just to help me out with organization and planning and stuff like that, because I am the most unorganized person on the planet, and she's actually very organized and just great at planning, and it's so worth having her as some help. So today she's over for a little bit, just corresponding with some different companies for my fashion-y posts and stuff like that. And then after that, I think Becky and I are going to go to the gym and record a bit of a shoulder workout for you guys. Oh, and I just got a makeup delivery, so I'll show you guys what I got. Okay, I'm really excited about this. I saw this on a YouTube video, so I decided to get some for myself. So this is the Smashbox Contour Stick Trio. So there's one in, I think it's like a darker contour, probably in a cooler color, and then a lighter, warmer color, and highlight, bronze, and contour. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh. No. Becky just got here. And we're working on sending in an order. I made myself just another prawn salad, just like yesterday, but this one is just like bagged lettuce with some chopped apple and some honey mustard type salad dressing. So just super simple and easy and quick. And I think I might have one of those Women's Best chip thingies, salt and vinegar. So this is an extra 11 grams of protein, so that should be good for before I work out. By the way, this is what the chips actually look like. So they kind of look like pop chips, but they're obviously protein. Becky's having the sweet chili ones right now. Yeah, so that's what they look like. Yum! I got on my Gymshark and we're ready to go.
2 kilometers at the roundabout. Take the third exit onto Birmingham Road.
Hi everyone, in this video I wanted to walk you through my upper body mobility and flexibility routine. I have a really tight upper body, especially my shoulders. I just don't have great range of motion. My thoracic spine doesn't have great range of motion. So I'm just going to show you guys what I do to try to keep that in check. So first off, I start with a T-spine roll. So T stands for thoracic. I like to stretch my back over the foam roller and really extend my spine. And I like to just kind of relax over the foam roller, and then I also roll up and down. Pretty standard, but I really do focus on trying to get a nice stretch and opening up my rib cage with this mobility exercise. Next, I like to go right into stretching out my shoulders. So I find this exercise to be a nice, just standard general stretch to kind of open up my shoulder girdle and really stretch everything out and kind of get the whole area warmed up for more intense stretches. So I do both arms at once, as you saw on the TRX bands, and then I go one arm each. So I do one light stretch with both arms, and then I kind of do a deeper stretch with each arm after that. And then here I've moved on to pec major stretch. So this is where you use like a door, or in my case I'm using just like this structure thingy, just to get a nice deep stretch in your pec. And then the higher you hold your arm up, the more it's going to target your pec minor, so the smaller pec muscle. And this is just also it just stretches your chest and just opens up your shoulder. You want to hold your stretches for at least 20 to 30 seconds. I think I moved through it a little bit faster than I normally would, just for the purpose of the video, but I do personally like to get to a point where I feel like I've made progress in my stretch, and then get a little bit of a deeper stretch. But you should always have your muscles nice and relaxed. Don't put too much pressure, just lightly stretch until you can feel your muscles give a little bit. You don't want to stretch so much that the muscles like pulling back on itself. You should obviously feel a little bit of resistance as you stretch, but it shouldn't hurt. So next I moved on to this deeper shoulder flexion stretch on the exercise ball. Then I moved on to another pec major stretch. Using the exercise ball on the ground, I find I can just get a deeper stretch this way, and I find it to just be a little bit more comfortable, which helps me focus on the actual muscles that I am stretching. And again, don't forget to hold each stretch for at least 20 seconds and stay in tune with your muscle as to whether or not you feel it slowly releasing. After that, I move on to the pec minor stretch, and then I'm doing a lat stretch here. Since I have a lack of T-spine mobility, I like to do ab stretches as well, because that also just opens up your whole chest area, and having flexible abs allows you to kind of uncurl your spine and just stretch it out and keep your chest a bit higher, etc. And I like to move into this lat stretch. So I think there's like yoga terms for that, but I don't really know what they are. I just call it like ab stretch and lat stretch. Next, shown here, I'm doing a spine mobility exercise called cat camels. They look kind of crazy, but you're just kind of moving your spine through flexion and extension. I actually really love that exercise. You want to move nice and slow, and you want to do about 10 reps. Okay, next I'm doing the craziest stretch ever. I'm sure I attracted some like very confused looks in the gym, but I actually love this. I find it just is the perfect stretch to complete the mobility and flexibility routine. It just totally opens up my whole just chest area and stretches my abs, and it's obviously great for your spinal flexibility as well. I just like to kind of lie here and chill in this position for like 30 seconds. And another alternative to this would be the bridge, but then obviously this is more challenging and I can barely do it. Like, it was actually so hard. So I've completed all of my flexibility exercises, my stretches, etc. So now I'm moving on to my basic mobility routine. I've showed this in a video before, but I like to do certain exercises before I train shoulders like every single time. It's really important to me to maintain shoulder health. So here I'm just doing arm circumductions, and then I move on to shoulder abduction, just basic kind of flies with a very, very light weight. I think those are only 1 kg. And then I'm doing shoulder external rotations. Yes, I realize that the weight isn't resisting this movement, but it does put torque on the shoulder, and it's just to get your shoulders warmed up with nothing through that range of motion. And then next I am doing these sort of bent arm abductions going into external rotations. This one is just excellent for warming up all of the muscles in my shoulder. Like, you can feel it nice in my back and my rear delts as well. And then finally, we have an external rotation that actually has resistance to it. So that's problem solved. And then finally, I'm moving on to my shoulder, my shoulder workout. Yes, so I started my shoulder workout, and this one was actually a really, really good one. I don't think prior to this, I had a really good shoulder day in a long time, so I decided to go all out. So here, I always like to start, if you guys watch my videos in the past, you know I always like to start with an abduction type movement because I like to focus on my side / my middle delts, because that is what's going to give the delt the roundness that you're looking for. Far too many people focus way too much on their anterior delts, which are the mirror ones, the ones that you can see the front delts. They aren't as important in the overall appearance of the delt and often get overworked. Excuse me, like fixing my leggings to hide my love handles. So yeah, I really like this exercise. It's a good alternative to just like the regular standing ones. And I find if you allow your body to really lean to the side, and then as you're doing the exercise, if you kind of push up on your arm, like push up and away, as if you're resisting almost someone pushing down on your arm, then I find that it feels the best that way. So after that, I moved on to regular shoulder flies, what do you want to call it, dumbbell flies. And I do, as usual, I like to have a slight internal rotation, slightly bent elbows, and I like to lean slightly forward. And that way of doing it, I think, is called like pouring a glass. So you want to hold the dumbbell as if you're pouring a glass of orange juice. Like I've mentioned before, I think it's the best way to get the middle delts involved. moving on straight into a rear delt exercise because, as I said, I like to focus less on the front delts and more on the side and the rear. This is a rear delt row. This is an excellent exercise for rear delts. I find that it really helps take the stronger, more dominant muscles of the back out of the movement, especially if you really concentrate and you use quite a light weight, and you focus on rotating your elbow around the joint rather than scrunching your back up and rowing the weight. You don't want to row it. It should be more similar to a rear delt fly, except with like a pronated grip, so more of in the style of a row, if that makes sense. But it should feel more like a rear delt fly. Continuing on the rear delt train, I decided to do this exercise, which is one I haven't done in a really long time. It's quite a difficult exercise. I guess I would call this a chest supported rear delt fly. Here I'm actually alternating reps between a fly and another rear delt row, but I finish off in the end with the flies. I think I prefer the flies actually in this movement. In this position with your chest supported, it just kind of minimizes cheating and it forces you to stay in that stable position. Finally, I moved on to my absolute favorite delt finisher. Sometimes I even start off with this. This is a very versatile exercise, superset. I like to move between a cable upright row just using the handle attachment. And for this one, I like to stand quite close to the machine. And as you can see, I'm raising with my elbows. I'm not using my traps to shrug the weight up. Just like in my lateral raises, I am internally rotating to keep that pressure on my side delts. And then I move straight into this is just hands down my favorite delt exercise. And this is a cable bent arm front raise, or sometimes I call it a diamond grip front raise. Anytime I do this exercise, it's always new to other people, so I low-key kind of want to take credit for its invention. But it's so good. You guys really need to try this one. Like, honestly, everyone I show it to loves it, including Whitney. I showed this to Whitney, and she absolutely loved it. I promise, if done correctly, your delts will be on fire. So basically, the key is to stand pretty close to the machine, lean into the exercise as you push the weight away from your body. And the leaning forward and the internal rotation is key because this is going to be what forces the exercise to focus more on your side delts. Obviously, it's going to hit the front delts as well, but it also does hit the rear delts. So it's just such an amazing delt exercise. I highly recommend it. Even though my delts were about to fall off at that point, I kept going. I told you guys this was an intense shoulder workout. So I went into another rear delt exercise, and this is an old favorite of mine, a cable rear delt fly. I was kind of doing one where I was pulling the weight like in line with my body a little bit more, and then I would switch back and alternate to doing a straight horizontal transverse type fly. I just found that this combination was nice for hitting the rear delts from a couple different angles. And with the cable, you are getting a nice consistent resistance throughout the range of motion, which is really nice. That is it for this workout, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the informative voiceover, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Also, I have some really exciting news. So as you guys may know, I have sold a glue program for over a year now, and that is going on sale. But not a lot of people know it's not just a glute program. It's not like a guide. It is a full-blown program that's intended for intermediates, someone who knows their way around the gym. And it is really good for upper body. I actually get a lot of emails saying that you know it's a glute program, but you're absolutely loving the upper body days of the program and that you haven't made any shoulder progress as much as you have since you started the program. So that's amazing feedback. So there's 3 lower body days and 2 upper body days. That is how I built my upper body. So if you like the way that my upper body looks, then you will really like this program. It is very challenging. Because I'm working on updating the formatting and the layout and releasing new programs, I have decided to put it on sale. It was $50 US. Now I've decided to put it down to $30 US, which is 22 pounds. Just keep in mind it still is a PDF version with linked videos. So yeah, definitely check that out, guys. I think that you will really enjoy that program. Bye! that was actually a really, really good workout. I came back inside because I had to order an Uber, and so I decided to go to the little cafe in the gym and order myself a green smoothie. So that's my reward for going to the gym earlier. Usually I go in the evening with Ben, so it's nice to kind of get it done and out of the way. My shoulders are so pumped and like destroyed right now. I can barely hold this camera. I can't wait for my smoothie.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem.
Update on the smoothie. It's really, really good, but smoothies in the UK, I think, are like pressed juice, and they always come out warm, which is really weird. They're like water, they're like kind of like watery and warm, and not like thick and icy and cold, but it's still really good, so I have to get used to just random differences like this. I'm back from the gym and I'm absolutely destroyed from that workout, so I think I'm gonna drink as much water as possible because I don't think I drank enough today, and then I'm gonna have a coffee or something. It's like 5:20 right now, so Ben should be home in another 40 minutes or so. People. So I'm gonna make him some dinner when he gets home as well, just to decide whether I want to eat right away or not. Hi. Hi. Cutie. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm absolutely starving, so I decided that I would eat now. I'm so excited for this. I have, it looks kind of gross, but these are 4 chopped heck sausages, just pan fried. I have a bit of ketchup and barbecue sauce, and this is sweet potato mash and some asparagus. So yeah, my meals are quite simple, as you guys can see. I'm also having a few squashies. By the way, I put on haddock for you.
Oh, thank you.
Ben just got home and he brought me some protein donuts. Okay.
They look good as well. They do look good. Like normally, you would think they're not going to look very good. But
Yeah.
They do look good.
I think my camera's gonna die, so. Oh my god, they look so good.
Yeah, there's like 3 grams of fat in each one, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to
And like
try
6
these.
protein, I think.
Ben wants me to taste test on camera. It's really good.
It tastes quite
tastes
fatty,
like-
don't they? Like, but
Yeah.
they're not fatty, they taste it.
It tastes like cakey. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's a good bit of cakey.
Really, really good actually. What brand are they again? And are they UK, obviously?
Yeah. To be fair, they're not even that far away.
Huh. These are really good. I have to try not to eat all of these.